Everybody to the one and only Sammy's and Beers podcast live here on this manic Monday, misfit Monday. I don't know what you want to call it. It's Monday. We're here. We're drinking. We're podcasting. We're going to have some great conversations. We're going to tell you all about our thoughts and opinions. None of it is going to be factually correct. So if you take it as factually correct, that is on you.
That sounds like a personal fucking problem.
With me, as always, is the Mario with a squiggly line.
Wario, then?
No, that'd be... Yeah. Mario from Texas, the one and only
Texas
Tomas Urbin.
Hello. I should probably make this full screen. Oops.
Thomas, welcome to this Monday. We're here on a Monday because we are accommodating Thomas's ever-changing work schedule, which happens. So
Yeah, I think we're on Thursdays after this for a while. Again,
we got a couple weeks of Thursdays, but that's the name of the game of side hustles. Is
this a
gotta
hustle?
Do it. Call it that. It could be.
Okay, curious, interesting. Well, let's get going. That's what I want.
It could be. I mean, we've got almost 52 episodes. In fact, we probably have 52 from before we started doing Apple Podcasts. So we've got almost 52 on Apple.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of podcast time.
That is. Did you see that Miami is trying to not be the spring break destination of the U.S. anymore?
I didn't, but I don't go on spring break, so...
Me neither, but they came out with a commercial calling out everybody who goes to spring break in Miami. Like, hey,
Yeah, they don't...
it's over.
People don't care.
No, they won't. Well, and what they're doing too is they're in like curfews, $100 parking spots, like a bunch of stuff.
You can't initiate curfews.
You can.
You cannot.
You can.
You cannot.
You can.
This is a free country.
It is. With curfews.
Yep. No curfews. No, that's against the Constitution.
They're doing it. It's Florida.
Unless you are under a military state, curfews are against the law. Against the Constitution.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Our curfews.
There's not going to be like a clear-cut answer. But one of the things in the Bill of Rights is the freedom to move about the country freely. And prohibiting that, whether it be by time, by location, things like that, are against your Constitution.
No, everyone's pretty much agreeing with you.
I know. You sound surprised like I'm right. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Happiness could be a stripper.
So
That's
other
not
curfew
right.
rules may be in place temporarily in response to a natural disaster or civil disturbance.
Military law.
No, that's just the law.
Yeah, you can put in a curfew if you're under like a military law, natural disaster.
Well,
things like that.
that's martial law.
Martial law, military law, things like that.
Well, they're doing it.
But if they try to, they can very, very easily get fucking sued the fuck out of them.
I don't know. I'm not going anyways. They have great sandwiches in Miami, but that's about it.
Are you only saying that because of the movie Chef?
No, I've been.
Okay.
It's just the Cuban culture is so ingrained in Miami. Like, so ingrained.
Yeah, they're like cousins. They're Alabama cousins. What did Cousins in Faith?
Cousins in Faith.
They're cousins in Faith.
Yeah. I remember that. That's disgusting. Well, at least it didn't say cousins by blood. Lovers by choice.
I don't know what
fuck.
cousins by. I don't know if somebody could let us know what cousins by faith means. That would be greatly appreciated.
Dude, I'm obsessed with the mustache.
Yeah, you've You've been talking about
I
it.
can't stop looking at it. I'm like, ooh. Hey, I'm gonna go full beans on it too. Fuck it.
That's awesome, buddy.
I'm really happy.
I'm psyched and excited for you
Thanks.
to have a mouth brow.
Oh, I want a womb broom.
It's a mouth brow.
Anyways, let's get going so I can get a little more lively.
Why do they get to be? Why do your eyes get brows but your mouth doesn't? You know.
Still doing
That's
the same bottle of vodka today.
Fair enough.
It was
I
good.
have some vodka, and I also just went easy today.
Hmm.
I've got a bunch of these. I don't know why my family thinks that I like enjoy Fireball.
I don't know.
And
Well,
so like every year I get like candy canes of Fireball and like all this other stuff.
can't complain though,
Do you know why I drink Fireball with him?
because it's his favorite.
It's not. He doesn't even like it that much.
Really?
No, and this wasn't even my father-in-law. This was my mother-in-law.
I don't know.
But they all can't take shots. I like to take shots.
It's fair.
So this is kind of like a happy medium where it's not. We're not doing straight shots of whiskey because anytime I want to do straight shots of whiskey with people, they're like, "Whoa,
Not this person. This person.
who's this fucking raging alcoholic that came to the party?"
I'm down.
Like, I just want to take a couple shots and move on. You know,
Yeah.
I don't need to drink all night. I need 3 hours where
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Of just
feel
going,
good and
hitting
go
it.
to bed.
Hit. Eat a sandwich. Go to bed.
Yeah, or have a pocket hamburger.
The other night, I had chicken lo mein from the Chinese restaurant. It was the only place open.
That sounds amazing.
It was fucking delicious. I don't know if it's because I was drunk or because it's
Wow.
actually delicious, but whoa,
Doesn't matter. Don't get it sober though. I'll tell you that much.
probably not. It was so good. I don't know
Really?
what. It was the only place that would deliver. So it's like, fuck it.
Spent $25 on a portion of chicken lo mein.
No, so the place themselves delivered because we don't have DoorDash. We're too small of a
Okay.
town. So it's just a very Asian man rolling out with his Kia Soul and a little rice cooker, and
Yes, so
so I had a great time with it. And I forgot what day that was. That was recent though. It was like within a week. I drank twice this week.
I went and had a beer Saturday.
Oh, for what?
One big beer.
Ooh.
I think it was a 32 ouncer.
Have you noticed that since we've been drinking way less, like getting a beer when you go out, it's like, oh, this is nice.
Well,
like,
I'm not normally like when we go out to restaurants and stuff, and I think I've noticed it with you too, is when you go places with your significant other, how it used to be the guy would have a beer and then drive home. We've gotten into this no drinking and driving thing.
which
So
is good.
now,
It's good.
I think that there's levels of it.
Well, yeah, there's a
I
legal
think
limit.
Yeah. But do you know what the legal limit used to be?
Like super stupid. Like you're
It was like 1.6.
so stupid. 0.16. If they were 1.6, you would be pickled.
0.16. But even 0.16, it's now 0.08.
I blew
I think at some point it was 0.2.
I blew like 0.12 before, and I was hammered. Like I was unable to walk. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound right because yeah. But anyway, but I've noticed like when I go out, my wife will have a margarita at the restaurant. You know, have a Moscow Mule, whatever she's feeling, and I'm cool with it. I usually don't. For one, I don't like to have a beer with my meal. I just don't find that tasty.
Depends on the meal.
Well, I have yet to find a meal that I would not prefer a Coke or a Pepsi with versus a solid a beer, or maybe if I'm just eating like some wings or something.
Pizza.
But maybe.
Yeah, but I feel you because I love soda. I love
I do
soda.
too.
It's a problem. I would rather, honestly, there are some days where I'm like, oh, I could really go for a beer. And it's not the beer I was craving. I was craving a Coke. Like just a really cold Coke.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I 100% feel you there.
All right, we doing this?
But I think girls also, like, when they drink, they're drinking for flavor. That's why they get, like, strawberry margaritas and all this other stuff, whereas, you know, we get whiskeys.
Well, it's whiskey. It took a while, but it has a good flavor for me now.
Yeah.
And I did get into wine with steak.
I could do that. I could probably drink wine, but I hate paying for wine.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like $6 a glass, and I'm like,
Yeah. It was like when we make
Maybe.
ribeyes or New York strips, I'll have Holly get a bottle of wine that's pairs really well with it because she knows how to do all that. I don't know. It's delicious.
nice.
I still have a Coke next to it too, though.
Yeah. Well, that and the other thing is I don't want to ruin my Coke with whiskey in it, and I don't want to ruin my whiskey with Coke in it. So.
Damn straight. Keep them separate. Fuck mixed drinks. Keep them separate. Enjoying
really
both
think
separately.
Then everybody looks at you funny if you have a shot with supper. So
So you got to do
that's
it.
if I was gonna do it, that's how I would do it. Is I'd be like, yeah, give me 2 shots of Crown and a Coke.
It's better. Tastes better.
You know?
100% tastes
for
better.
everybody. So, but speaking of shots, let's get into our shots for this fantastic Monday.
I have a good one if you want me to go first. Like a
By
positive
all
one.
means, sir.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
this one is to all the firefighters currently up in Amarillo area handling that wildfire. I got a couple of my guys that are firefighters that are handling it right now. They're unable to fly because it's really fucking bad. So here's to you guys. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and please don't die. That's a lot of paperwork. That's it. Oh, like that Big Red. Damn, that's good
Big
shit.
Red.
Yeah.
That's only a Texas soda too, I think.
It's
You don't get
it's
that a lot of places outside of Texas.
it's branching out now, but yeah, it's mostly just Texas.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have a shot lined up. So,
Rare occurrence.
I know. Usually I am prepared, but I was busy thinking about the topic for tonight.
I have a good one you could do.
Okay,
Why,
go for it.
why don't you take a shot for our newest member of our group of gamers?
A shout out for Teddy,
Oh, yeah,
Captain Teddy. I don't know if he wants me using his last name, so I'm just
Probably
gonna say
not.
Captain Teddy.
yeah.
Yeah, I do really enjoy Captain Teddy because he is also my age, so I'm not
Yes.
the old one. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't want him to take this the wrong way if he ever listens to it. But I think he might be worse with his computer and being old man stuff than I am, which makes me look better. So he has now become Arkansas, and I'm Mississippi.
I think he was in the Discord logged in for like 3 days straight.
I think he might still be there
I
now.
think he's still there.
So, yeah, Captain Teddy, that, and he's great to spread democracy with.
Oh, that's the thing. He's funny, but he's actually good at the game. That's a bonus. Oh, shit.
Whew.
It took me about 2 years to finally get a game that we both have together, though, to play. Took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very
I
happy.
would have probably played the Division.
I didn't know he played the Division. All he really ever told me was Destiny. He has Power World. It's just getting him on. I think he likes quick games, the quick little zoots. So,
Well, Helldivers is becoming longer and longer the more we play it.
well, the mission we just did, 3, all 10 minutes each, because it was the kill bugs and then the get people out, which we figured something out with the get people out. If you're away but still close enough to draw all the bugs, I had 3 people over there and I was just popping people. Took us 5 minutes, clear the whole fucking thing. Really nice.
Did you watch
Nope.
read an article on that?
Nope. I skipped
Somebody
them.
did. Somebody did.
They might have.
Because I saw that article.
They might have. They were still pretty close because it was getting a little hairy for me. Sometimes the bugs would come over, but it was nice.
Well, you don't want it to be easy. It's got to be a little hairy,
It was. Well, that's hairy because I was the one pressing the buttons and I have all the shit.
Fair enough.
But let's get into today's topic, Matt.
All right. So, just so everybody is aware, Thomas does not know about this topic. And I was sitting around the table with my family eating dinner And I got to thinking about this and why this idea got planted in my brain. I don't really know. But I thought of it, and I actually texted Thomas a little while later and was like, hey, I have an idea for the podcast, but I don't want you to know about it because I didn't want you to spend time thinking about it, because I wanted your genuine, honest feedback when you first hear this question. So, my question is, who invented time?
No one?
No one?
Time's just there. It's like, who invented air? No one.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Because air is just there, but we don't have to like quantify air and like
I have
track
to.
air and know what.
I have to.
No, for your day-to-day life, you do not.
When I'm flying, I do. And for my day-to-day life,
you have to know
so
what time it is.
I think you need to change the question to who was the first person to start measuring time.
Well, that's where it will lead into that. But who, like, think about 100 years ago.
So the
Before computers,
1980s?
before cell phones. Can you remember before you had a cell phone, setting your alarm clock?
No. I didn't.
No?
I didn't do that. No.
No, have you ever had to set like a clock?
Mm-mm. I've never had to set an alarm clock.
How about like a microwave? You ever set the microwave to a time, or the oven, or
The
you
oven,
ever set
yeah.
anything to a time?
The oven.
How, before you had a cell phone, how did you figure out what time it was?
The microwave.
Okay, what if the microwave was off?
The news.
So you had to watch the news. You had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, those things weren't always around, especially 100 years ago. How did they know what time it was? How did they track what time it was?
Guess you could do a sundial.
That'll give you like where the sun is. How will that tell you what time it is?
I guess if you're like in a big city and you get a watch, you'd set the time to the time of the tower on the watch, and then you take the watch
If
to
you're
a
in a big
town.
city.
If someone has to transport time,
But look at how much work would have to go into just doing that one little thing. Now go back even further. How long has time been around? They've been tracking time for a long time.
yeah, but I don't think it was as important. Like the hours and minutes weren't as important as they are now.
They were not, but they still figured it out because, like, how long has leap year been going on?
That I don't know.
Like, at some point they knew, especially like if you dig into like the Mayan calendar, which is what our calendar is based off of, they had to know how many minutes were in a day or in an hour, how many hours were in a day, and how many days were in a year. How in the fuck did somebody figure out how to track that?
It's probably like
2,000 years ago.
probably just someone's whole life was time. That's all they did.
Multiple people's whole lives were time.
Hmm.
That's all.
But
they
it
did.
was important because of crops and because of weather, and it's cool.
That's fucking bananas.
Someone's whole job used to be to make needles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like that's what they did. The guy just knew how to make needles, and that's all he did for his
But
whole
who
life.
is paying this guy to track time?
We pay him in food. Because if he can track,
Why would I do that?
because
Why
if he
would I
can track
care?
time, he can help you find the best time to plant your
Why would I
crops.
care about that?
Because if the best time to plant your crops means that you get more crops.
I will pay him. I will pay him for the information.
Yeah.
Once he has it, I'm not going to pay him to do that information.
Well, maybe he was a stripper too, Matt.
You don't pay people for research. You pay people for results.
Maybe he was an advisor under the king, the emperor.
I mean, and there's multiple civilizations that have had time. Like, time's been around for a long, long fucking time.
Maybe he was like an accountant, and he also did this on the side. It's very possible. He had a lot more free time.
He was an accountant, and on his free time, he just Like, but how would you even how would you go about calculating that? How would you go about figuring that out?
The sun, I guess, would be the best way to start. It's the most important part.
But look how much days change with sunlight from December to June.
What if he just counted? He only has to do it once.
Right?
He just has to do it one time.
Unless you fuck up. 200, 693, 2,670.
No, you don't count like that if you're counting for a long time. You count to 50, and then you make a mark. It's 50. And then you do that. And then you count the
But
marks.
you're also, but that's such an inaccurate way to count.
I mean, it's the best he's got. Homie don't got nothing else.
Is it?
Isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I know the answer. Aliens.
Aliens? Aliens just gave us time?
Yeah. Everyone got a free Apple Watch when aliens came down and just do. And yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're really looking hard at it, like an hourglass
Oh yeah.
with sand.
But you have to measure time first to see how much sand you need to put in and how long it takes for the sand to fall down.
Well, but if you're, like you said, counting to 50, you count how many hourglasses it takes.
Yeah.
So then and then like, who set up the measurement of it? Like, why did we go 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour? Like,
In 12
was there
hours.
and then 12 or 24 hours in a day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why couldn't we have done something way easier? Like, why couldn't it have been based off of 20 hours in a day and 50 seconds and 50 minutes in an hour?
Think
Or,
maybe it could have
something
been.
like that.
You think it maybe could have been a heartbeat?
Like 60 beats a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Or beats per second?
Beats per minute.
Beats per minute. Yeah.
It's like the most
know.
common heart rate. So maybe someone's heart rate was 60, and that's.
I don't know. Like I said, I just started thinking about this, and I'm like, this is fucking bonkers. Like, who? Because, like, I mean, you think about it, they had no information on this. All they had was, there's this space, and I need to try and figure out how to calculate it.
They do that with everything, though.
But not everything.
It's just over thousands of years it worked out. You know what I mean?
Well, but, like, yeah. How did they figure that out? Like, to be so exact, to, like, figure out leap years within the Mayan calendar, knowing, hey, it takes 364 and a quarter days to go around the sun.
Well, that's from
And
the
so-
aliens. Anything to do with the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Egyptians, that's all aliens. So.
I mean,
Oh, and then you should get a pen and paper, jot this down. Through Christ, anything is possible. So that's probably how that worked out.
so Jesus brought us time.
Yeah, just jot that down.
Jesus was like, motherfucker, you got to be at church at 11, so here's a clock so that way you can be to church on time.
You are clearly not Catholic, because 11 is not when church is.
I'm not.
That's when church is.
5?
Maybe 6 if you're going to the late mass.
Like on Saturday evening?
Sunday.
My grandparents have gone to church on Saturday night at 4 o'clock for the last 20 years.
That's a new thing. My grandparents have been going to church on Sunday every morning at 5:30 for like 55, 56 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stay for the Spanish one.
Can we talk about people? Just, this is way off subject, but it just, because we were talking about church there, it really made me think about it. I have a neighbor who likes to ask me the most inappropriate questions that you can ask another person.
Like
We were
what?
walking by yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. Walking by with me and the kids. We were walking up to the park to go play baseball. Throw the ball around, hit some balls. And he comes over. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Da 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 da. I'll be honest, he's a weird dude the way it is. But he's like, oh, did you make it to church this morning? Nope.
Not too weird. Midwest, it's not too weird.
That's a weird fucking question. I find that such an inappropriate question to ask somebody, especially in front of their kids. What if we don't believe in church?
What if you do?
What if we don't?
He went for it. He gambled. Maybe that's his opener to get you to go to church. Maybe he's trying to get in your head, and it will fucking work. He's in there right now.
No, he's crazy. Like, legit, I'm pretty sure he's crazy.
It happens.
He has 3 kids that are my boys' age, and yeah, I haven't seen them over at his house for a long time.
I mean, it happens. It sucks, but actually, I just got into contact with one of my childhood friends when I was like 8 or 9. We spent like 2 years. They lived across the street. Loved playing with them. You know, video games and late nights, perfect ages. And then they just vanished one day, and it's because the divorce and everything. And I just got in contact with them.
I thought you were going to say another D word, not divorce.
Death.
Huh?
Death.
No, not death.
Domestic violence?
No.
Oh.
Deportation.
Oh, hey, that happens.
I know.
That happens. I've had some friends like that before, though.
Yeah, I know you have.
They were like, "Fuck weed, legalize my cousin," you know, like.
Well, but this guy's also asked me other inappropriate things, like when I got my new truck. Came over, he's like, "Oh, I see you got a new truck. This is nice. Yeah, this is really nice." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." He goes, "So, how'd you afford it? Did somebody die? Did you get an inheritance or what?"
Maybe that's what he's used to. Maybe to him, that's how people get money, and how he's been raised, and the circles he runs. That's how people get money.
I don't know. But I just find it an inappropriate question to ask me how I paid for my truck.
I just
You want to know how I paid for it? None of your fucking business. That's how I paid for it.
Selling yourself on the street.
It fucking could have been. None of your
No,
fucking business.
it couldn't have been. Sorry, buddy. You start selling the husband experience. I'll come into your house, yell at you, fart all over the place, and then fall asleep by 9 p.m.
That's like the 7-year-old experience.
I guess it is. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I have a big ol' headache today. Something's blowing in.
Apparently, it's not your thoughts on time.
That's just one of those things. Like, who cares? It's time.
But it's just fucking weird to think about. It's super weird to
Who
think
invented the dildo?
about. Somebody that wanted to...
Which gender do you think was gay first?
Why does that matter?
It's just why is who inventing time matters?
Why are you all about just wanting to talk about dicks?
Yeah, I do that a lot, like a whole lot.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we should talk about, is why you're obsessed with dicks.
My fixation? I assume because I have one.
And
They're
now
funny.
Now you have a mouth brow to go along with it.
I do. They're funny though. Dicks are funny. They're funny. In the right context. Like little boy, like how farts are funny. Dicks are funny,
No. Not even on the same level are dicks as funny as farts.
I do admit I love a good fart video
like
on TikTok.
The only thing that comes close to being as funny as a fart video is a queef video.
I have not seen one. I mean, I've seen them, but I have not. No, that's not as funny. It's still funny, not as funny.
It's real funny. You get the right ones.
I think it's me because I'm fuzzy. I'm fuzzy, but you're not.
You are fuzzy. Yeah, I'm not fuzzy.
I don't understand. It's my fucking computer right now. It should be the opposite. Whatever. Women were probably gay first. I can quantify that in my...
I'm going to probably disagree with you.
I can quantify that for me. It's just like a woman is like, oh my god, those things are amazing. I love those.
No, guys need it want sex way more. I can definitely see one guy being like, "Hey, if you let me do this to you, I'll let you do it to me." And both of them were kind of like, "Yeah, I want to do that. I don't want to, but I will. Just
I don't want to, but well, actually, until you do it, and then,
And then yeah, exactly.
the prostate's a thing. Like, got a little button back there that does some stuff for you.
Sure.
God, this conversation went somewhere. That's all. That's my bad.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about time.
Well, I'm doing another one. Oh, I think I'm gonna do 3 today.
Sweet.
Simple.
I have an actual cocktail, so like I'm drinking.
Actively drinking. I don't know. There's just something about cocktails for me that just doesn't. Sometimes I'll drink them, but they
You just
get
gotta find
me.
the right one.
They get me really drunk really quickly.
Well, that's because you probably pour them too strong.
Well, no. It's not that. It's just I like the drinking and tasting, and that's why soda I like so much, because I'll just drink like 3 or 4 glasses of Coke at like Olive Garden. I don't give a fuck. It's delicious. Your wife made me those Moscow Mules, the strawberry ones. You couldn't taste the alcohol. It was just tasted like strawberry soda. And I drank a ton of them really fast because they were fucking delicious. And so I got hammered. I got blitzed really bad. Because
You just don't know how to control your alcohol.
it's not the alcohol. When I take shots or when I'm just drinking straight liquor, like, it's fine. Beer, fine. It's when it's in a mixed drink and it tastes like soda or tastes like candy, I can't do it because I'll just drink a ton of it. It's a problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, you just don't know how to moderate your intake.
Not when it tastes super good.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
And your wife doesn't make the best Moscow Mule I've ever had in my life. So
she doesn't. I'll
She
tell you
does.
that she doesn't.
she does. She'll check tape. She can check tape. That shit was delicious, man. Whew. But anyways, no, time's dumb. Really, they're in a simulation anyways, so the machines invented time. That's what happened. Or the aliens, or whatever. Did you see all the lore about Super Earth, by the way?
I've seen quite a bit of it, but I mean, to know exactly what you're talking about, I couldn't say for sure.
Like the stuff, like the robots aren't moving in, they're moving up.
yeah, to free Cybertron.
I think
you
it's.
sent me that.
Did I say? Okay. I usually don't get involved in like game lore ever because I don't give a shit. But this is starting to get me because it's simple and it's easy. So
Yeah, like you're not telling me about like 2 characters who are brothers and one of them's gay and all this other stuff. Like you're just being like, hey, this is why we're doing this, and you're like, oh, cool. I just wanted to fuck shit up, like, but that's cool.
Yeah,
this is why we're fucking shit up.
everyone's like, you know we're the bad guy probably, right? I'm like, I don't care.
No.
I'm not fucking up other people. I'm just robots or bugs.
Do you ever wonder now, like maybe you're the bad guy all the time and you just don't realize it?
To someone, I'm the bad guy. To the other team, I am. They're the good guy. I'm the bad guy. In Overwatch, you're the bad guy a lot. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like one of
Yeah, I
the
don't want to get into the lore of Overwatch.
one of the payloads is an EMP, and it's in a city full of sentient robots. And when it goes off, like you just
Fuck them robots.
I hear that a lot too. What do you think of elves?
What about them?
Like fantasy elves?
I don't think about them.
Are you for or against them?
Well, like you can't just generalize them because there are so many. Like, are we talking fucking Keebler elves? Are we talking like Lord of the Ring elves?
Lord of the
Are we
Ring
talking,
elves.
Like, are we talking fucking elves that are like somewhat trolls under bridges? I mean, there's a fuck ton of types of elves.
Lord of the Ring elves. Fantasy elves.
I wasn't a huge fan. Like, I liked, Legolas. Obviously, I don't think anybody disliked Legolas in Lord of the Rings. But I enjoyed the elves a lot more when getting into the Rings of Power.
Okay. I haven't finished
I
that
still
yet.
didn't like them as much, like with The Hobbit and things like that. But yeah, when they really when they really got deep into them with the Rings of Power, I will say I did really enjoy that.
Interesting. So you hate dwarves?
No,
If you like elves, you have to hate dwarves.
that's false.
It's the other way around too.
No, false.
It's true.
But obviously, if I'm gonna pick one over the other, I mean, I'm going to pick elves over dwarves.
What?
Oh yeah.
I started this off as a joke, but like no, dwarves are way better than elves.
How are dwarves better than elves? They're short, stocky, little fucks that have to live in a mine.
They don't have to live in a mine. They just
do.
They do it anyways.
They choose to.
Yeah, because it's
They're
awesome.
so stupid. They're so stupid. They have to live underground.
They literally were the first beings to create machines. The opposite of stupid.
What machines did they create?
So depends on which lore you're looking at. But even if you're just going for Lord of the Rings, all cognitive gear, so like anything with a gear that ticks, anything that with a crossbow bolt, any of that, anything mechanical was made by dwarves first.
So they made bows first. The elves just happened to be way better at it.
No,
Like,
bows.
so
bows.
they didn't-
I'd
they
say
didn't
crossbows, not bows. Crossbows.
Okay.
There's a difference. Dwarves are better. They
Never
live
seen-
just as long.
Dwarves are not better.
Dwarves are 100% better. Dwarves drink and reproduce. Elves only have sex for like 200 years and then they're done.
There's so much. You know way too much about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, somebody just made that up. So elves can have sex as much and as long as they want to. because
They
they're Not
don't.
real. They're not real.
I
So they
guess.
can.
So dwarves are real though.
Dwarves aren't real.
I'll get fucking Peter Dinklage on the phone right now.
Please do.
Yeah, okay.
And call him and tell him that he's a dwarf too.
I think he's okay with being called a dwarf. I think that's one of the only ones you can call him. Because it's dwarfism, like that's the name of the disease. So like it's,
Okay.
I think he's cool with that. He's not cool with little person and midget. I don't even think I'm allowed to say that online anymore. No, we just got demonetized.
Bummer.
Shucks.
But yeah, no.
You might be alone on this one, buddy. Too.
Elves are way cooler.
They're not. They're fucking.
Alone?
They're twiddly little fairy people. Like they're.
They're spiritual people who are connected to nature.
Are you a hippie?
More so than I am into fucking digging fucking holes.
Getting ore, smithing, drinking, fucking dwarves, fighting. I love dwarves, but I have been very much a dwarf fanboy for a long time. I love them.
Like so basically they're reds.
yes, but
Yeah.
hardier.
Yeah. But slaves and stupid.
They're not slaves. They rule themselves.
They're pretty slavish.
There's a reason the elves and the dwarves don't get along because they're constantly fighting, but one can't win over the other. They're equally matched.
There's a reason that one of them lives in badass forests and the other one lives in fucking holes.
Like a
in the
hippie.
ground.
Have you seen like a dwarf kingdom?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's a fucking hole in the ground.
It's just why build something when you can just dig it out?
Because a giant fucking treehouse is way fucking cooler.
You know what? I'll take the home that can't be beaten by a match. Thank you.
Okay.
If I can live in the ground, I would.
I am match. I wouldn't.
Really?
No.
I think I would.
I want sunlight.
I mean, you can go outside. There's a stay there forever.
I like sunlight in my home.
Oh. You can put mirrors in. I don't know. So
Mirrors?
here brings up a really good point that I found the answer to, and I want to get your opinion on it first. You know those videos, and Joe Rogan talked about it, so that's why I brought it up. Those videos of nuclear bombs being used, and you can see like the houses blowing up and the things blow up. Why doesn't the camera blow up?
Probably because it's in, Safe Shield or something like that.
So it's actually there was no safe shield strong enough to back then to withstand a nuclear blast. I still don't think there is currently, not where you could see out of clearly. So they were actually super deep in the ground. And they used mirrors to see the top, and like it was lead shielded the whole way down.
Oh, that makes sense.
Fun fact. So everyone's like, nuclear bombs aren't real. This was just propaganda. It's not. It just was really hard to do it the right way. Towards the end of the footage, you see it. Eventually, you see it hit like where the thing is, and it gets destroyed. The camera's not destroyed; just the mirror structure was.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, but it's one of those things like I don't know how they would do that. I guess.
Kind of like a down periscope type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like I have extra wisdom because of this.
Is that what it is? I don't know. You still like dwarves, so.
Damn right I do. Now, who has the better women? Elves. Sorry.
Yeah.
But dwarves are cooler. Hands down. I do love the whole... We have all these really cool races and all this stuff, and there are still people who play games like that, or play D&D, or do immerse themselves in the culture, and they make their own character, and their character is just a guy with a sword, and that's it. Look, you have magic, you have races, you could be a dragon person, you could sling magic, and all you want to be is homie. Just a regular 6-foot white dude with a big sword, and it works.
Well, not everybody is like super creative and stuff, though. Like,
I mean, yours was pretty creative.
he was pretty basic.
He was basic, but he was good. He was simple and smooth.
He was very simple.
But he had a good backstory. Not tragic, but not too tragic. It tied into the Paladin, and I thought it was really cool.
It took me a long time to come up with that.
I think those characters were the best characters in any game I've ever played. Overall. They were all so simple.
But I just always... I have a hard time with, like... I don't read rules for stuff like that. So, like, getting into the rules, like, why I never had spellcasters is I just don't want to spend days reading and learning the rules of what I can and can't do with this character and how to do it. And if I'm going to do something, I want to be... I don't like to be bad at things. I'm okay with being mediocre, but I don't want to be bad. And in order to not be bad at a character like that, you have to read.
Yeah.
You have to, like, know how to do stuff. Because, certain things tie together in, certain ways. And so, yeah, that's why, like, I would never go with, like, a dragon-type character or a...
You did go pretty deep with the monk, though. That's key points and everything. That was a little much.
Yeah?
I had to read up on it before we started actually playing with him, because I didn't fucking know. I had never run a monk before. I was kind of surprised.
I was just reading it as, like, went, They're basic enough to where, you throw a few things out there and then it's like, okay, this worked. Cool. Let's do it this way.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I want to get back into it. I want to play again. I want to do all of this again. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Egg, but she goes way too in depth in the story for me. Like, it's too much. She'll text me about it now, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've been lost for like 6 weeks. Like, I saying names and stuff. I always kept our campaign super simple. Here's the bad guy. Here's what you got to do to get there. Get there the funnest way you can.
And I always wanted to, like, I would be okay with trying to run a campaign and, like, doing that, but I just, like, again, it comes back to not knowing the rules and not having the time to know all the rules of how each character plays. Like, I'll write a story and tell you how it goes, but...
Well, that's the problem. You can't do that.
Yeah, like, you have to be able to know how the rules and all that other stuff goes, and
be flexible.
Yeah, I just don't have the brain power to do all that. Like, my brain focuses on way too many other things.
I wouldn't say I did either. We winged it the whole fucking time.
Yeah, But then, like, towards the end, everybody started catching on, and I'm pretty sure you got taken advantage of by people who did read the rules and knew what they were
Asking
doing
for
and taking advantage of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Everyone got nerfed. It was a thing. It was still fun. I still have some really good
Oh,
memories
yeah.
of it.
oh yeah, it was a blast. I had a good time with it.
I do miss it.
It was
And
definitely
I wanna do it
muscle
again.
I've never really flexed before.
Yeah. And we will do it again. Just in time. You can even use the
I
same
don't-
characters.
I always liked I don't watch them nearly enough, but you know, like these guys that do run some of these big, like famous campaigns, like those are all made just off of like the dungeon master. Like, yeah, you've
Mhm.
got the other people who decide to do little funny stuff here and there, but those campaigns are so the dungeon master's babies.
Oh, Matt Mercer. I mean,
Yep.
they made a fucking TV show out of his story.
Mhm.
That's bad at being that guy. It's like my story writing's so good they made a TV show after my D&D campaign. That's insane.
Right.
You even have that other dude. I can't remember his name, but I just saw a clip when he was trying to convince someone not to fight his character, and he's like, "Okay, well, if you're gonna do this, please tell me what would you like for me to say to your family." it's just he gets these one-liners, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
It's so cool, and I wish I could give us that, but we had really cool moments, anyways, but not like that. Like that was stuff like that's awesome. Or the character interaction was different, and it's just I don't know. I think that just comes with experience.
Yeah, it comes with doing it for a long time, you know.
Oh yeah. We will get back into it. I actually want to host it on here.
On where?
Sammy's and Beer, the Sammy's and
Oh.
Beer official D&D campaign, but we'll see. I'm thinking of making it the Rise of Marduk.
The Rise of Marduk.
Mm-hmm.
I want a Red Rising one.
That's so hard.
I know.
There's no rules. I mean, I could try, but how late? Like, no shame on her, but how lame is it to go to school? Like, I don't want to go to a school.
Like it was like trying to be like D&D Hogwarts. And,
Yes, I just don't want it. I don't want it.
yeah, no. I zero part of me wanted to be in school.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Like, yeah.
Or be a fucking angsty teenager.
Pass.
I didn't want that either. Like, no. No part of me wants to do that.
I do want to do a pirate adventure. I think that would be really cool.
Like, if I was going to go back in time and go to an age, I'd want to go to, like, 10. Where I have minimal responsibilities. I still get recess at school. I'm somewhat comprehensive with things, but I also still don't have to really worry about anything.
That's true.
Like, that's probably, like,
I don't know. I think you going back in time might just make you sad.
maybe. Probably. I mean, it's not like I can go back in time. You know,
Not yet.
maybe I could do like a trading places type thing, but
That'd be cool. I would go back in time if given the chance.
huh?
I'd go back in time if given the chance.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but you have like stuff that has to happen so you could have your kids. Like, that's pretty important. I wouldn't. If I had kids, I probably wouldn't go back in time. Just in the off chance that I make them not happen.
Yeah.
But right now, I'd go the fuck back in time.
What would you go back for?
Just to do it all over again.
What would you do over?
Like, okay, freshman year of high school, I missed a really easy shot on a goal in a very important game, and we lost.
For soccer?
Mm-hmm. I'd like to hit that shot.
Yeah.
Even if I just go back for tidbits, just so I get the satisfaction, changes nothing.
But who knows the butterfly effect of you hitting that shot?
Yeah, maybe this happens and that happens, and then a gorilla gets shot in a zoo, and Trump becomes president, and all this crazy stuff would happen.
Well, I wasn't going that far, but I mean, maybe you got that little bit more boost of confidence and you hit another shot and you hit a couple more shots and then you got a scholarship. Or because you did that, you hooked up with a girl at school and ended up getting her pregnant and had a kid at 17. Or, I mean, there's so many of those little one-off nuances that you're real close to having happen, but just didn't happen.
It's true.
Especially with the manslet that you are.
Is what it is, baby boo. No, you're probably right. I like my life.
Maybe you got into it. Maybe you were just, because you hit that, you stayed a little bit later and you were driving home and got in a fucking car accident and became paralyzed from the legs down.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
Okay. You don't have to convince me. It's okay. If you could go back in time and watch it, though. Can't change anything, but you could watch it.
Watch what?
Your life.
There's quite a bit of stuff. Yes, there's quite a bit. No, though, too.
It's fair.
Like we were, with the passing of my grandparents and stuff, my sister has, old home movies. My grandpa used to have like that big
cam
box.
Yeah.
And they recorded a lot of Christmases and birthdays and went back and watched a lot of that stuff. And I was talking to my brother about it, and both of us, neither one of us really enjoys watching them because it's
sad.
It was sad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not sad because we want to go back there or anything. It's sad because we're things were not cool, and we just didn't know it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And you see signs, and you can see you could tell my brother wasn't happy, and my sister was seeking out for attention and just weird shit that you're what the fuck is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, seeing certain things and certain people stressed me the fuck out too. And I'm I don't care to watch this stuff.
I like watching our home videos. They're usually pretty funny.
Oh, there was some really funny stuff. There was one point I was running the camera and everybody's kind of talking and I'm filming, and all of a sudden I pan over and I go to my brother and I'm and this is what you don't want to be when you grow up. And he just looks up at me and gives me the death stare. He's 16, I'm probably 13. And I look at him and then I just slowly turn back away.
Yeah. I actually need to go pull out some of our old family videos. I gotta find a VCR.
Oh, see, my grandparents converted all that stuff to, you can convert them all to DVDs and and so we've got them all online.
I should do that. We have a ton of stuff. It's funny because we were going through picture albums at my grandparents' house, and just pictures. And my sister's where the fuck am I in these pictures? She was born 7 years after I was. So she was, came on later. But then the pictures stop, and in their places is just 3 CDs. And Miranda, we found your picture album because it's all digital. It's all right there for her.
This is when we got a digital camera and we could just upload them instead of having to
print the pictures at Walgreens. Yep, and she was so pissed. She was I don't want to go on a computer. The computer doesn't even have a disk drive. It's just yeah. Sorry, Beans.
Yeah, right. In order to watch the disc for some of our stuff, my brother has a plug-in CD drive. It plugs into a USB port on his laptop, so you can actually watch CDs.
That's insane. I get it, but I don't even remember the last time I put a disc in anything.
Yeah. I went and bought my aunt a DVD player because hers was shitty. And it was weird going into the store and I'm I need a DVD player? And the guy's they don't make DVD players. I'm okay, well, DVD, Blu-ray? He goes, yeah, I got one of those. It's cool, I don't need Netflix on it because she doesn't have internet. guess, well, then you don't fucking buy one. Oh.
You can get one on Amazon, I bet.
No, I just went to Best Buy.
That's insane. I mean, I get it. You probably would have been better off just going to Goodwill.
Yeah, probably.
$5.
Probably should. But that's where the last one that we had went. We got, and yeah.
We still have one that we use in case the internet goes out. We have one.
We have like our Xbox and you know. Although even those are becoming like
Digital
my
only.
wife's like, should we buy him this game? And I'm like, no, we're not buying fucking games. We'll download them.
Yeah, buy them online.
Because then they can't lose the CD. They can't break it. They can't fucking
Which there's a whole big thing about buying things digitally now and like losing the rights to them later.
Well, that's just with PlayStation. That's the only one that's done it.
So far,
They haven't lost any rights on Steam.
no. It's such a rare thing. I don't know. I can't pretend to know how any of that works, but everyone, all those guys who've been buying DVDs for years, like digital, physical copies of the games for years, like, see, this is what I told you. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna always buy digitally. It's easier for me. I'm not gonna go to a store to buy a game.
I'm gonna change this disc out, or I'm gonna change games. Let me know in the 5 minutes when your fucking lazy ass has to get up, go find your disc, and then put it in, and then wait for it to load. Because all I have to do is click 3 fucking buttons.
Done.
So. That and fucking discs can scratch, they can break. I mean, there's so much shit that can go wrong with discs. And yeah.
Oh yeah, no, discs are not the way anymore. But they were back then. They were super cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And I have an ex, and this was in 2015, who had a wall of all of the Disney VHSs. And I'm like, yeah, let's pop one of them in. Like, let's watch The Lion King, And she's like, oh no, we don't touch the VHSs. Like,
They're probably worth money now.
well, probably worth a
They're
lot.
saying that, like, there's movies that are worth money now. Like Dogma, for some reason you can't stream Dogma. And so, like, the DVD is worth, like, fucking $50 to $100.
I know the original Who Framed Roger Rabbit on VHS is worth a lot of money because you can
Yeah.
see Jessica Rabbit's cooter.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. You know that scene where she like gets hit and she spins? Someone literally animated her whole thing. It's
Did
so.
you ever watch, like, those, like, hidden little things, like, in Aladdin when Abu says, oh, shit?
No,
Or in The Little Mermaid when the priest gets an erection?
I saw that. I did see that. Or in The Lion King when he goes, he plops on some pollen and it floats in the air. It spells sex. It's like,
Yep.
okay. They weren't subliminally messing with me like that. I'm sure they were just having fun,
Mm-hmm.
But now people
Always
look
thought
for
that
it.
was fun. Yeah.
All the castles in Little Mermaid, the underwater towers are dicks.
Yep. I don't think they meant to do it. I think it was,
I think a lot of it was unintentional.
yeah, they were just drawing, and then somebody was like, oh, look at all those dicks.
Happens. Who cares?
And then the guy who made it was like, oh, I just thought they looked cool.
I just lost my job. Thanks, guys. What's up, Beatas? We're running
Alright.
close, yeah.
We are at time, which apparently time was not the subject that I thought it was going to be tonight. You just didn't care.
I don't. I'm sorry, there's some things I don't care about. Time is one of them.
We had a good long conversation at the dinner table with me and my family about it because, we Googled it and who started it, and
Oh, who did? Is there an
know.
answer?
it says that like the ancient Mayan and Egyptian civilizations were the first ones to start using time, but like
That
it
we
does,
know
like,
of.
There's not like one person.
That makes sense.
I also saw another thing that was real fucking creepy that kind of made sense
What?
a little bit. So at one point when our galaxy was forming, there was Earth was actually a moon of a much larger planet, and this larger planet got hit by a meteor and crashed into Earth and some of that became like why we have some of the remnants of like pyramids and things like that. It's because they're from a different actual planet. It's possible.
You know who believes in that too?
Who?
The Mormons. And they believe dinosaurs are actually just alien fossils. They never lived on Earth for the same justification.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
You know way more about Mormonism. Like, are you like a closet Mormon?
No.
Like,
I actually found out someone I really respect is Mormon, so I try to make fun of them less.
fucking pussy.
Just
I
out of
have less
respect.
for you now.
I have a bunch of respect for him though, and I would make fun of him to his face, and he was always really good natured about it. And then I found out I was like, let me chill out for a minute, because I just say off the wall shit, right? Like I get my information third hand, and then I just make fun of him. That's some dude's like whole identity, kind of.
So
I'm trying to be nicer about it because he's nice to me. I'm trying to be a nicer person in general.
His face.
I'm trying to be a nicer person in general. There are some things I won't be nice about, like people from India, and people from India.
Used to be fucking Koreans. So.
Well, I like their food. I don't like fucking anything from India.
Yeah, I don't like their food either.
So I'm just, eesh. Even like people from the Middle East, I like their food and their oil.
All right. Well, Thomas likes your goats and your oil. But thank you all so much for stopping by to the Sammy's and Beer podcast. This has been a Monday special episode talking about time and where it comes from, where it's going. That's about it.
We didn't do much this one. I apologize. We're going to get back on our regular schedule coming in 2 weeks. We'll be reviewing a game together, Matt. We'll talk offline about what game we want that to be. It can be one of the new ones we just did, or it could be an old one.
It's 100% going to be Helldivers.
Okay. That works for
It's
me.
100%. So, 2 weeks from now, we're going to talk about Helldivers and the future, the lore, the game. But we will be back next week. Should be on Thursday. We appreciate you all so much for stopping by and listening. Thomas, any final words?
A
They
duck-
can't see you waving.
A duck takes a shit every 15 minutes.
Oh, and one thing I was told that we needed to do is your ring that you got from your significant other for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
We need to describe it because somebody was confused and they thought you got like an actual ring because apparently we just
It is a
talked
ring.
about it. But describe
It is
your
the
ring.
one true ring. It's a golden band, elvish engraved ring that gives the wearer unlimited power.
And does it go on your finger?
It does not. I have it on a chain as a necklace.
Okay.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely, so I can't wear it on my finger.
Okay.
It is
So,
what it is.
that was something that was brought up to me is that we didn't describe the ring. We just talked about it and they're like, wait, he has a ring? Does he wear it on like his hand? And I'm like, oh no, it's on a necklace. Oh, well you guys didn't say that and I don't watch the video. And I'm like, oh, well he showed me it on the video, so that's why we didn't talk about it.
That's fair.
So, but all right, thank you all so much for stopping by. This has been the Sammy's and Beer podcast, and just so we know, Thomas wears an elven ring and not a dwarven ring.